Hey everyone, today June 15th, 2025, and I'm taking my trees outside the greenhouse because now we're going to have consistent temperatures above 60s at night, so that will keep the trees growing and vigorous, won't slow the growth. However, from last season I struggle a lot with the animals attacking my figs, so I built a small enclosure I had earlier where I used the shade cloth, but I upgraded it and I added chicken wire all around, so no more worries about squirrels and chipmunks and raccoons and possums and what's not. Even birds won't get in. Still finishing the front wall here, so I just put this gate here, just 2x4s, very simple. And that's going to be attached to the greenhouse, so this way I can move the trees easier. Yeah, it took a few days and a lot of cuts on my fingers, but yeah, it's not easy to work with chicken wire. I hate wearing gloves when I try to attach these and tie all the wiring and what's not, but anyhow, I think it's worth it. Trees looks happy. So because the tree were in the greenhouse, these wind wall, all the carbon panel are UV, will block UV, so I have to acclimate the trees. I'm using 50% shade cloth. That's more than enough, and I will leave it here up to probably like 2 weeks. And then I will have to remove it so the trees can get full sunlight. I'll do a quick walk through here. This is called the Mutante. Didn't get any head start. Grows really nicely, but I think it's going to be behind on setting fruits. It does have fruits, but it'll ripen late. Not an issue. I didn't have much space, so I kept my top varieties in the greenhouse. This is here one of the Smith trees. This is the one with the trunk damage, so it didn't grow much. I'm probably gonna cut it to the roots, and if the root ball have any suckers, then that's great. If not, it is what it is. I did some backups last season. This is one of the mother trees here. That's a Smith. Here is another Smith I have. It's loaded with fruits, all the branching. This is another Smith tree here. This is 3 years old Smith, very productive and still growing and setting fruits, so that's great. This is another 3 years old. This is the third season basically, loaded with figs, growing vigorously and branching nicely. This one here is a Smith that I attempted to graft a few varieties on it. Only the Sicilian 33 took, so that's nice growth, setting fruits for later. These are all fruits going to ripen probably in September, which is great because I'm going to have a lot of figs ripening June, July and August, so I don't want all my Smith to ripen early in the season with the head start. This is the Sicilian 33 graft. This one here is the Cisac, one of my top varieties taste wise. Nice productivity, and it start growing again, pushing more fruit, so it did set fruits early with the head start, so growing really good. More fruit on this side here. This tree had a trunk damage as well, so I'm training this branch here to replace the main trunk later in a couple of years or next year, we'll see. So these are all the Smith. Now my next top variety here is Onda. This is one of the mother trees I had. It was late to set fruits, so fruit is still small on this one. This one is a graft I did last season, so this is a Onda on a dark Portuguese. This is on the right here is the Onda. It's still growing vigorously. And on the left side here is this one is dark Portuguese, this one is dark Portuguese, and this small branch here. I'm gonna leave these here this season, and I will graft Ondata on it so the entire tree becomes Ondata. This one here is my most advanced Ondata. This is a mother tree, and it's the first one to wake up and start setting fruit. So you can see here the size of the fruit. These are really large figs, and I think these are first to ripen. Tree is loaded with figs, top to bottom. Very happy about my Ondata, so that's why I have too many copies of it. Not too many copies, not enough copies actually. This is another Ondata I grafted on a Chicago Hardy. So this is the graft here, and this is the Chicago Hardy. Again, I let this branch grow so I can graft it later. Same for this guy here. That's Chicago Hardy, so I'm going to graft over it later. This is a 2 years old Ondata, setting fruits nicely as well. This is another mother tree from the original ones I bought in 2022, loaded with figs, and it's growing very vigorously. It had some FMV issues, but a lot of feeding, and I think it's over it. This one here is my Golden River side where I grafted Ondata on it. So these are all Ondata figs. This one here, this one, the one in the back, and this is here the Golden River side. So I left this branch here just for now. I might graft over it next year. Just keep it all Ondata. The small ones here are also Ondatas, just more clones. These are all on own roots. All the small pots are Ondata on their own roots. They're all air layers from last season. This one here is my Ondata grafted to CLBC. Very productive. CLBC branch in the back, not a single fig. So, and this is a 5 years old. So, but the trunk died when I left the tree outside as a punishment for not setting any fruits, and it didn't die. This one here is another Ondata air layer, and I have no idea why I did the air layer this way. They were too long. I was attempting to do a second air layers in the middle, but I didn't do it. And look at the productivity of this thing. I don't know how these fruits can ripen next to each other. There are like 9 figs here. More is better. This one here is my Pretto. Very productive, nice size figs. So this is expected to be mid-July, I would say, roughly. Yeah. And it's still growing and setting baby figs, so that's really good. These figs are not gonna ripen until probably October. That's 120 days from baby figs. This one here is my grafted Pretto. So I grafted Pretto on a Desert King, and the graft was like probably 2 months after the mother tree was early started in the greenhouse. And if you see the amount of growth, I'm talking about growth, not figs. This is not even like 14 inches, and the graft is already put more than 2 feet, almost 3 in one branch here. This one here is like 20 inches, I would say. It's have figs, but it's growing much faster than the Pretto on its own roots, even though this one is a 5 years old tree. This one here is my HDA. Amazing fig, cherry taste, very nice colors, good amount of figs. I'll need to support this guy here in the entire tree and push this one here to open it up a little bit. In the corner here, this is my PNR without a head start, setting fruits, growing a lot of cuttings. I get a lot of asked for cuttings for grafting, so I'm keeping extras. This one here is my Calderona. Good amount of figs, was not pruned. Fix that next season. This is here is a fig called Lucano, still growing and setting fruits. More PNR here in the side. This one here is, what is this one here? This one. I believe, oh, this is my Chipola. So this is a Chipola, and I grafted Pretto on it here. So that's a Chipola. This one here is the Cambineri, and I think Cambineri is starting to ripen its main fruit. So this is not ripe yet, but this year Cambineri beats Iranian candy for some reason. That's interesting. This one here is the Ashia Black UCD, very nice growth, good amount of figs, healthy growth. Showed some FMV at the beginning, but it's all gone now. And you can see here all the fruits on the variety here, Ashia Black UCD. Corner here is my BNR grafted on White Adriatic, grows really fast. These branches are going super fast. This is all BNR. BNR is very slow on its own roots, at the beginning at least. This is a BNR grafted on some unknown I had a few years ago. This one here is my Irene Black Greek. This is a new variety acquired this season, can't plant this. This one is my Figuroxo. I'm seeing a lot of new growth and more figs. I'm happy that I have figs and Figuroxo now because it ripens quality figs when it's cool and late in the season. So that's why I'm so excited about Figuroxo. I'm going to be duplicating Figuroxo, by the way. This one here is my Lapricha. Good amount of growth. I still have some trees, all my young trees in the greenhouse. This is Craven, for example. Here on the left side, this is Craven. This one here is unknown. I'm going to use for grafting later. These are all my baby figs for this season. A lot of them are too tall now to ship, unfortunately. I'm going to try to see if 36-inch boxes are still reasonably priced when it comes to shipping, because I hate to prune all of these. I mean, they're like 3 feet tall now, so that's why I'm stuck with all of these fruited cuttings here. Some are still small, so we'll see. This one here is my Smith, grafted with, on the right side here, this is Bretto, grown really nice. And the left side here is my White Pekka. Good sized figs on the White Pekka, good amount of growth. This one here is a second cutting White Pekka that I grafted, and it's growing nicely as well. And it does have some fruits, so it starts setting fruits. This one here is the original cutting I received on Figbit. I bought on Figbit. Good amount of growth and setting a lot of fruits, so I'll get to try White Pekka of 3 different rootstocks. Smith is the most vigorous one, so we'll see if, and the oldest, no, this is the oldest actually. This is White Prada. This was like 4 or 5 years old, and I cut it, pruned it, and let it grow last season for grafting, and I grafted the White Pekka on top of it. Called Dame Blanc. This is Crozes. First year I'm gonna get Crozes. I was told it's really good Mount Etna, so I'll try it. This one here is my Sicilian 33. Lots of figs on Sicilian 33, so I'll get to enjoy these later in the season. This one did not get the same head start like my other trees. It was 6 weeks behind. This is a Angelito air layer I took last season. I air layered the top of the fig. We'll need to prune the skinny growth later and start forming it. It's not growing very vigorously. I think the air layer was too small for the size of, or the root ball was too small for the size of this air layer. But strangely, it's setting a lot of figs for something this small. This one here is one of the mother tree Angelitos. It's behind compared to other figs, especially Smith, because last season it was ripening around the same time. But again, I have a lot of figs early in the season, so I don't mind. I pruned it really hard, so that's, I think, what did cause the delay. And this one here was pruned all the way here, and on the left side, but again, it responded by growing. Now it's almost, I would say, 8 feet. My greenhouse is 10 feet tall, so this thing is roughly 8 to 9 from the ground. That's all Angelito, just this branch. This branch here on the left is also growing fast. Next to it is my White Madeira #1. Lots of figs, good growth, but it's stalled. It's not growing anymore. So not really sure why, but at least I got the figs. This is green Michurinesca. I got this here. This one here is black manzanita. Late start. One of my friends was supposed to pick it up. So Vlad, if you're watching the video, this is your black manzanita that you didn't pick up yet. And it's loaded with figs. So I might keep it until the end of the season, Vlad. This one here is my black Madeira UCD. Suffered a lot of damage on the trunk, so it didn't grow as vigorous as I wanted to, but it's had some figs here and there, which is fine. I'll get to enjoy them later in September. This is another black Madeira UCD. This is a 3-year-old tree now. It's growing nicely, but slow because it's a black Madeira type. This one here is another one of my mother tree black Madeiras. This is the trunk here, and these are the most advanced black Madeira. So these will be ripening around at the same time as Brepto. We're a little bit behind, we'll see. This is KK black Madeira, so setting more fruits. Does have some larger figs that set early, so that's good. This is my poison berry blush, very vigorous or productive, I would say. Not vigorous, but I would take productivity over vigorous. I don't want to grow large trees and just look at green leaves and stems. I want to see productivity, and you get that with proper balanced fertilizer. This is Iranian candy. Oh, that one there is swelling. So looks like Cambineri and Iranian candies are going to ripen the same week. Yeah, that small one there, that's good. This one here is this is the, I can't think of it, Moro de Caneva. This is the Moro de Caneva, still setting fruits, setting more fruits here. So it's setting fruit as it grows. That's nice. This one here is my Azores Dark that will be grafted later this season. I don't need that many Mount Etnas. So this is Mount Etna 1. This one here is Red Lebanese Bika Valley. Very productive, terrible shape. I don't like the shape of this tree here, but it's okay if it's productive. And this one here is my Marcellus Black VS. No head start. Took it out of the garage mid-March, I think. I have to go through the old videos, but it didn't get any head start. And this one here is my Suffering Poison Berry Blush. I'm not really sure what's going on with this one, so probably take it out of the pot next season. I'll cut the branch on the bottom here, and I'll straighten it and do another uppotting just to inspect if there's any issues or buckets, air buckets in the pot, because I'm not sure why it's not growing fast. But the second one is doing great. That's why I like to keep copies of my trees that are productive and taste really good. So that's the update. Chicken wire will do a lot of, it will help a lot with keeping the animals away. So we'll finish this up and close it, and then get to enjoy all the figs without having to compete with squirrels. They're my #1 public enemy here in the forest behind me, unfortunately, and I don't want to leave them alone. So if they leave me alone, I'll leave them alone, I guess. Thank you for watching.